Alright everybody, welcome back to a brand new video. So we're here reacting to a video from Tru3Ta1ent. It will be linked in the description. It says, reacting to the Skull Merchant new changes. She gonna be a beast or bad? We're gonna find out. I want to see what Tru has to say. I want to see what I think. And we can have a discussion. And let me know what you guys think of the changes in the comments. So let's get into it. I'm curious to see what the vibes are. So let me also take a look myself. So it says, we removed the killer aura reveal when hacking a drone. You know, I never knew that was actually a thing. I didn't know that was actually a thing. Does that always happen? I never knew that. Was that always a feature? Sound off if you if you actually knew that, because I didn't. In the comment section, let me know. Did you know that? I didn't know that. The global detection power detects survivors who are running or walking. Keeps this consistent with how drones detect players. I like that. Stealth drone scan lines are now visible, but will not extend entirely down to the ground, providing a visual indicator for survivors to crouch walk as a counteraction. Skull Merchant has two different types of drones, 5 deployable stealth drones as previously mentioned, one drone buddy named Pending that hovers directly over her shoulder. This is not a separate AI controlled entity. Stealth drones function as previously stated, but drone propulsion only injures, not downs, survivors. Any survivor hit by drone propulsion is tagged and tracked with a claw trap. So sort of like before, where you launch, I guess, instead of like launching the drone directly at people, the drone can, like, I guess, shoot at people with stuff, which is that's interesting. Any survivor hit by drone propulsion is tagged and tracked with the claw trap. Okay. Claw traps can be removed by survivors following a held interaction. Skull Merchant gains an activatable ability that fires an EMP dart from her drone buddy. This range attack has a small AoE and downs survivors tracked with a claw trap. Interesting. The EMP dart does not hurt survivors if they are not tracked with a claw trap. Very interesting. I kind of like that idea. How it'll be used in execution, you know, obviously I have no clue, but I'm really curious to see what that would be about, honestly. Oh, it actually gives you a little visual diagram here. It says that first order of business to make use of the tools in your arsenal where they are. You begin deploying a stealth drone piloted to a high traffic loop. You leave it passively scanning, switch focus, back to Skull Merchant. You can head towards another loop, activating your global detection power in hopes of catching a survivor heading to their first gen. So is this, I guess the eye symbol must be either, I guess, the view of the drone, or maybe like the... It's hard to, you know, it's hard to tell because obviously we don't really have more information with this little diagram, but I guess I kind of understand. You kind of hold it, it scans, a crouch. You know what it reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of, if anyone has played Rainbow Six Siege, and Leon, or Lion, depending on if you know how you would like to pronounce it, Leon, he would have a similar drone power where he would you know, activate his ability, and it would scan the whole map if people were moving, and so it would actually tag your screen, like showing, like, you know, like that, okay, they're running here, they're running there for a couple of seconds. So what people would do is, like, they would, you know, obviously combine that with, like, with their team, so that they can basically start scanning, like, right as they start to use another ability that forces them to move. And then that'll allow their teammates to obviously set up and try to get the kill that way. Now, how that applies to a solo killer in a team like this, I would assume that maybe you can, hopefully you'll be able to at least move around while you're getting the global scan, at least to some degree. so that you're able to at least apply pressure by the fact that you're getting global scan. So that's cool. I like that that is a concept for a tracking killer, because that's really cool. I completely forgot that even was an ability on Rainbow Six Siege. So that's interesting. I'm really glad that they have something like that. It says the global detection power and your passive stealth drone detect separate survivors, notifying you of their whereabouts. I'm assuming you're now perfectly situated for a chase. Okay, cool. I mean, I like that. So let me also take a look at what's here. So it says tag and track.
Years ago.
Switching focus back to the idling stealth drone, you see the survivor who's detected running away. Make use of the increased movement of the drone. You give chase. Mid-chase, you see an opportunity to strike. Launching your stealth drone toward the drone propulsion, hitting the survivor. Not only does this injure them, but it attaches a claw trap to them. This inflicts the broken status effect and tracks the survivor on your radar. So basically, they're trying to kind of combine that added aspect of launching your drone at them to deal damage. So basically, what you're trying to do is you're launching the drone in order to give them the trap. And I'm assuming you have to launch another drone in order to do damage with this. And then obviously, you can't, you know, after they're already injured, you know, it won't do anything else, but makes sense, I guess. It doesn't seem too bad. I don't know if it'll be interesting for Skull Merchant players, but it's something. So now that I'm reading this part here, it says that they can either hunt them down and melee them, or you can basically use the buddy drone, which can launch an EMP dart. The EMP dart will have a short to mid-range EMP hits, and then basically what it'll do is, you know, it'll hit them. Interesting. So this is how you down people. You want to, like, while they have the claw trap, you try to launch your EMP at them to down them.
So what would that be like? Maybe Huntress style? A buddy drone fires a shot as far as unknown, probably, then. Small A. Some contraption. You don't really hide from Legion. You actually want him to chase you. He's super weak. You just stay injured and do gens. You force him to chase you, and then he's just a mouse one. Survivor perspective. Oh, that's what.
Yeah, okay. So it says that they're scanning the area, crouch, or hack it. Okay. Counterplay, there's options. It says that if you're getting the global detection power notification, begin crouch walking or stop moving. This is exactly like Leon in Rainbow Six Siege. When you're playing against Leon on the defending side, you literally will hear dunk dunk dunk, like, and you get, like, you see the symbol on your screen, like, loading, like, okay, like, it's about to go off, and then you would stop moving so that he doesn't get the scan. That's interesting. It's interesting too, because we had Rainbow Six Siege skins being added to Dead by Daylight, and then now we're having an ability that's similar to you know, a drone using character. That is pretty cool, I gotta say. It's nice.
The idling stealth drone, I guess, right? Wait, when you put these up, can you control any of them, guys? Do you only get one? Wait. Oh, you only get one. I see. So you grab this, you take it to, let's say, just a gen, right? And then it's going to be on there, and it's going to potentially detect them. The detect, I guess, will put the claw trap onto them like before, or do you need to actually go into it when it detects them? No, I get it. I do get it now. It's very convoluted though. This is gonna be like quite a long time to down compared to other killers.
I kind of agree with Tru here. If they are adding this sort of like elements to the power, they're really increasing the skill ceiling. But I do think it might be one of those singularity kind of situations where a lot of people may not want to pick them up as quickly because it has such a more challenging way to understand how the ability works, and you may not be able to fully grasp it unless you like have, you know, dedicated experience with it. Potentially could be strong, but in most cases I would say it's possible that it might be too complicated where a lot of players may still not play them. But on the other hand, it does mean that the character will be much better, like in terms of how they're well received, I guess you could say. But I would say it's not a bad concept in terms of just ability. It's like, okay, cool. You know, you have like a ranged power to a degree. If they have the claw, so basically you're incorporating claw traps. You can launch darts basically that will, you know, allow you to get downs. So they're interesting. It's an interesting idea. So it has definitely some skill involved in that, which is interesting to see. Now it depends on how the dart, like how fast the dart is. If there's an arc to it, can you charge it? Like, is there anything that you can do with that dart? Is it a straight shot? Like, you know, a lot of those factors will also come into play, which will also add into sort of the skill-based aspects of it too. So that is interesting to see nonetheless. So I will say that is another aspect. And I gotta say, the changes are interesting. I think that'd be easier to understand if we see it in action. But overall, no, that makes sense.
So that, here the global detection power notification, same as above, begin crouch walking or stop moving altogether. Interesting. So it tells them when the global detection power is going to happen. So you're not going to get any good survival with this then. So what's the point of it? What's the point of this? There's no point of this at all.
I do agree with Tru here. Pretty much, he's pretty much exactly on point with that. New players, like, it's simple, right? Like, you're probably gonna get a lot of value from it. Average, maybe some might dodge it, maybe some people may or may not get caught by it. But dedicated, good players, like he's saying, very low chance of it really doing anything. Now, like I've mentioned, in terms of like Rainbow Six, like I had mentioned earlier, if you are able to just kind of press it and then it just activates and you can walk around the map and they have to stop moving, then it could be decently valuable, right? Because if they are trying to like run away or whatever have you, like it just actually, I'm not even sure, but I think it was more effective on Siege, because at least you have your teammate that could, like, you know, potentially help you out by, say, using, like, you know, maybe watching a, you know, down the hallway or whatever have you, so that if they do start trying to run. But it's sort of yeah. No, I do agree with Tru here, because like like against new players, they're either gonna get detected and they don't care, right? Because they'll just easily be able to fly off, because you're still an M1 killer at the end of the day, or B, they don't move and then you just don't see them anyway, and then you still don't get your down. So yeah, like it seems a bit pointless at the higher level. They might still be pretty bad in terms of the killer power.
This is stupid. What's the point? Any good survivor's just going to hear it and stop still. The only time they won't stop still is when they're in chase. You already know where they are when you're in chase.
Yeah.
Pointless.
Yeah. That's true.
This is like think about this. This is how bad this is, right? Think about Doctor, right? When he does the all you have to do is crouch. It won't hit you anymore.
It's the same thing with, it's the same thing like Doctor too, because a lot of people can go into a locker when you hear the charge up and then you just won't get hit by it. So that's actually so true. I didn't even think about that. I'm like, wait, he's right. He's right. If there's a sound and all you gotta do is crouch, like, it's even easier because, like, for this ability, because you don't even have to go into a locker or try to, like, dodge it in any kind of way. You just have to stop moving. And depending on how long it lasts, I mean, it might what, be a couple seconds at most. Like, you're probably not gonna get really much value from the ability that much. And I will say that Tru is right about this. That's very true. If you're in chase with them already, I mean, it may help you, I guess, but still, like, you know, you still just kind of know that you're, you know, where they are anyway. So I don't know. Unless it appears like on the little device that you're holding, the phone thing. Maybe if you can, like, see them tracked on there too or something like that, maybe it will help overall. But I don't know. Seems kind of pointless.
Trash, right?
And the reason I say that is also because on, like, a game like Rainbow Six, like, when you have a teammate, when you're using that character and you're scanning the whole map, you know, you have different characters with different abilities on your team that can force them into situations where they either A, are going to get scanned and then they stop moving but somebody's already running in, or B, they have another operator that has, like, a way to launch explosives into the room as you're scanning, so they're gonna give away their position by having to run away, or they get blown up, or, you know, whatever have you. Or you're, like, maybe you're about to enter the area, maybe throwing smokes in. Like, there's different strategies around that. That's what makes that ability, like, actually decent. They did nerf it, I remember when I played the game. But when it comes to, like, when you're by yourself, right? Like, you're basically going in solo, and your entire power is essentially, I can scan the map, and I can land little, like, you know, little traps and stuff like that on people. It may not really do that much for you, especially because you're one person, so you can only be at one place at one time. So, like, they can, you know, even if, say, you do spot people, I mean, how much information are you really gonna get out of that? Especially against people that are smart, people that are going to just not move. So I don't know, it just seems a bit pointless.
Notice self-drone being piloted. Keep to tight loops and be ready to juke to prevent the stealth drone from attaching a claw trap to you. She seems kind of shitty, in my opinion. She seems kind of shitty, man. Does she get any stealth or anything? So this thing ain't gonna hit any good survivor.
I completely agree with Tru once again. I mean, one of the biggest things that you see, especially when you're playing any killer, is this right here, just moving to the side. You can name any killer that has anything that you can throw at somebody, and then they can just do this. Right here, this little diagram. Move to the side. Any killer, move to the side. And that already is just in the game, right? Like, they don't necessarily have to really think too much about it. You just move to the side. And that applies to all the killers. So by adding it to another one, you would have to make this quick, like, at least decently fast, where, like, if you are good at aiming it and you're good at being able to time it correctly and catch the dodges, then it could be decent. But it's like Tru is saying, it just sounds terrible. I don't really think it'll actually land on good players, because a lot of good players are always very quick to spin, quick to turn around, quick to dodge everything. I mean, a good example is, like, Pyramid Head, right? A lot of the skill really comes into those predictions and being able to catch them in vaulting animations and things like that, you know, pallet dropping animations, because obviously you can't really land it, like, out in the open, because this diagram is what happens. They just move to the side. So And, you know, also keep in mind that, you know, Pyramid Head's power is quite slow, you know, especially when he fires, like, it has to travel. So if we're dealing with a similar situation here where this thing has to fly into them directly, I would imagine it's pretty easy to see as well. So it's not like you're really able to mind game it or somehow be able to, like, you know, get them to dodge and get a hit or anything, because it's gonna, assuming that you have to actually press to push it to go into that direction, it's not gonna work on smart players. It's just not. I have to agree with that. It's just, it doesn't seem like it'll do anything there.
The stealth drone can only be in one place at one time. It seems super. Her time to down is going to be really long, I feel like. She will have a bit of slowdown with them having to take the traps off. See how easy that is, I guess. And what's it mean here? Keep tight on loops. How bad is this thing at loops? I guess we'll see that. Afflicted with a claw trap and see the skull merchant approaching. Be ready to juke her emp dart. So you can juke this, you can juke the emp dart, and you can crouch the global detection. I wonder how easy the emp dart is to juke. It has a short charge. Yeah, I told you. So use this time to put an obstruction in between both of you. So it probably won't be able to go through things like Unknown either.
Yeah, that is going to make it a lot worse. Like, I can imagine that if this ever gone to live, Skull Merchant would probably still be in the same exact tier that they are now, or at least maybe a very low C, because the C tier, just because of this alone. And maybe a little higher for like the low MMR average, maybe, but definitely not against like experienced players. Like it's definitely not. Because knowing how they're trying to pitch this, it's going to be slow moving and it's going to be very, very visible, very easy to dodge. Like it's most likely not going to be able to go through the wall because as you can see, it looks like it kind of you know, sort of spreads out from where it lands. As you can see, like from the diagram, it goes out in a wave. But it's even worse than Unknown, because at least Unknown you can hit through the wall. This right here, like, not ideal. I don't think it'll be very, very good.
Huh. Afflicted with a claw trap and feeling hidden, hold the interaction button to remove it. Okay. The global detection is completely pointless. It's Doctor, but you can just crouch the shock. Pointless. The stealth drone, you want to get one, so her map pressure or her map presence is way smaller than what it were. It's only one spot. If they're just working on a gen, I'm assuming it's not even going to detect them. So I guess you put it at a gen and then go into it randomly, kind of like Singularity. So there's going to be kind of a bit of slowdown back and forth.
I completely agree with Tru here. The abilities are pretty lackluster overall in terms of utility and just usability. Definitely not going to be very useful, especially the global scan type thing, whatever that's supposed to be. It's at least with Doctor, like you can kind of catch people out, like in terms of range, and you know, the only way they were able to really dodge it was to actively get into a locker. So Doctor at least is able to use that more effectively. The static blast, Doctor is able to use it more effectively, because that being the main thing. But when it comes down to crouching or not moving, I mean, that's the easiest, the most simple thing you can do, and then that will cut down a lot of the options for a Skull Merchant player. And considering that you only get the one, and then from that one drone you can try to use your detection like that. Yeah, no, that like, so there's no map pressure, no map pressure at all, and then obviously the info will be very hit or miss. You pretty much might get a little scan here and there, but I wouldn't say against people that are experienced though. Like if they hear the noise, they're just gonna crouch or stand. They can stop mid sprint. They can just stop sprinting. They don't like, it's not like it requires them to do anything else.
Go in between both, and then when you go into it, you have to follow a survivor, and then following that survivor, all you get is an injure if you actually hit them. If you miss them, I don't know if there's a big cooldown. There probably is, right? You won't even know where they are. It's kind of like when you miss with Victor, right? And then if you do hit them, then you need to walk to where they were, depending on how far away that is. And then you need to use an EMP on them before they get it off. What happens if they run really far away and you just use it on them, and then the Skull Merchant needs to walk all the way to them, but they get the trap off because they're so far away? What about that?
I also agree with Tru there. I mean, you like the lack of map pressure is gonna really hurt Skull Merchant, which in general M1 killers already kind of struggle with that, right? And what this is, I guess, trying to do is sort of make them a little bit more of an M2, but they're still gonna lack map pressure. They're still going to. It kind of reminds me of Pig, where like it's lacking a lot of map pressure, but you do have like things that work passively for you. So maybe not like Pig at all, but you know, maybe I guess more like Singularity. But Singularity can teleport, so at least Singularity has that. But this is not great. Like, you need to give them a little bit more. But it does say that you get 5 deployable stealth drones. So contrary to what Tru is saying, you do get 5 though. You get 5, but you know, the main issue is still obviously, in order to get the down, you gotta launch the dart, but the dart is most likely going to be very slow moving, and it's also going to have the super long cooldown, and doesn't sound super ideal because you can deploy it, but I think it's saying that the dart only comes from, I think it's saying the dart only comes from, oh wow, okay, hold on. So it's saying that you have 5 deployable stealth drones. Yeah, 5 deployable stealth drones, but they can only give traps out, and then that's it. And then some, maybe they can get a scan off, so both ways useless. Then you have to directly go up to those players that have the claw, and then try to use your drone around your shoulder. But then, like, if it misses, I guess, then, you know, good luck. It's like basically like, good luck. What? Yeah, because it's saying stealth drones functions as previously stated, but drone propulsion only injures. Any survivor hit by drone propulsion is tagged and tracked to the claw trap, and they'll be removed by following a held interaction. And then they gain an activatable ability to fire the dart from the drone buddy. So not even the stealth drone, but the drone buddy. So it's like, yeah, no, you don't even have map pressure, because you need to directly go up to the player with the claw trap. But, you know, with large maps and all these types of tiles and things, different things like that, how easily are you going to be able to get over there? And it's not even directly saying that Skull Merchant's ever undetectable in any of this time. So you're going to have to try to somehow go up to them and try to land the damn thing, which, like I've said, is probably going to shoot very slow and have like a super long cooldown. So it's like, why even use the damn thing? Like, it still has that main issue that I've had with Skull Merchant in the past, where I'm like, it's like, you know, you kind of have this weird set it and forget it kind of thing, when it's like, okay, but, you know, Skull Merchant usually has that whole set it and forget it kind of feel, where it's like you just drop the drone and you just kind of move on with your life. in a lot of the ways. Now, Skull Merchant mains have been able to sort of like figure out how to rotate scan lines and do all these things to kind of make it seem a little bit more than it is, but as somebody who's trying to, say, get into the character, I mean, you know, you're not really seeing that, you know what I mean? Like, that's sort of advanced, but like, there's nothing to keep you, to kind of bring you in. It's just a lot of like, it's very lacking in that way. So, I will say, like, I don't think the ability is very, very good.
You get 5 of them. Oh, okay, okay. Oh, yeah, sorry, 5. Whoops. I was getting kind of confused with... Okay, so... Okay. So... You can go into any of these 5 stealth drones, is that what it's saying? Is that what it's saying? So you get 5 of them, you put all 5 around, and then you can go into them, and then you can say, okay, that's better, that's better. I thought there were only 1. Okay, but that's better then, that's better. I'm still kind of curious about how the stealth drone and the EMP thing is going to work together. I don't know what the cooldown is going to be either when they destroy one of them, or when you miss with one of them. But yeah, I did read this, but I completely forgot because this thing threw me off because it says you begin by deploying a stealth drone and then piloting it. So it just made me feel like there were 1 for some reason.
So you basically have to control you have to deploy it, then control it, and then place it, and then you have to get it to scan, but it won't scan anybody because they're not going to get scanned because they're going to just not move. And what the heck? I don't get it. It seems kind of pointless.
We can agree that this is pointless, though, right? Or am I misunderstanding it? The global detection power. This is pointless, right?
No, it's 100% pointless.
This seems completely pointless. You could just crouch it.
No, it's 100% pointless, actually. Experienced players, man. I have to keep bringing this up. Experienced players are not going to get caught by that. They're just not. And especially with the dart having to fly towards it, they're gonna dodge that too. Like, they're gonna find a way to make the dart like huge and easy to see, and then they're gonna make it so it shoots slow, and the cooldown will be super long, and the global detection is just not gonna hit people, so you're gonna feel like you ain't got much. You know, and you ain't got much. The drone can, because the drone itself will hopefully maybe scan somebody, and then you're I don't know, it kind of seems like it's kind of pointless. Like, you'll have everyone with traps, and then it's like, okay, but then they could just remove it on their own by pulling it off, and then like, okay, I guess, like, I guess, like, it's not that crazy. It still has the same issues as before, you know, where it just is weak.
Sounds like Skull is still gonna suck. I don't think. Well, we'll have to see. It all depends how everything's working. There's a lot of things here which can go wrong and be not too good. You know, the speed of the stealth drone, the delay when it explodes. You know, the strategy of just running away from the Skull Merchant. Does she get stealth, guys? They didn't say everything from the last one. They just want you to memorize everything. But I can't remember. It was ages ago when I read it. I mean, it's interesting. I think a time to down's not going to be too fast. Because she needs to hit you with the drone, then she needs to walk up to you. It's kind of like, imagine the twins, right? Where you go up to a survivor with Victor, and then you attack them with Victor, and you cannot down anyone with Victor. It's only Charlotte. Right? But she has like a little projectile when she gets close, right? It's kind of like that. Kind of picture it like the twins, where Victor goes to one of the survivors. This drone probably isn't as good as Victor, and Victor's like one of the best anti-loopers in the game. But just pretend it's like Victor. So you hit them with Victor, they can run around with Victor on, and then Charlotte walks up to where they were, and she fires something, like a little projectile. That's basically what this is. So it's very convoluted in the sense of one of your downs is going to take a while, because you're going to have to devote a lot of time holding forward, getting to a certain place. Do you get me?
No, I completely agree with Tru here. I completely agree. That's a perfect example, perfect comparison. Literally, I couldn't have said it better myself. It's just like Twins. I agree with that. Just like Twins, except you can't down with the drone. You can only down with the M1 pretty much. Because keep in mind that you need to place a drone, get it to shoot get the trap on them. Then you need the drone on your shoulder to blow up the trap so you can actually get the damage. So you're essentially like, I mean, you could place a whole bunch of little claw traps and oh, haha, that's funny. And then that's kind of it, because you got to actually go from point A to point B to actually launch the damn thing. So I'm like, I don't know. Like, it seems like it'll be, it'll still be weak. Like, it's like, it'll still be weak and terrible. I mean, that seems like what it'll be. At least in my opinion. I think it, like, of course it's interesting and it's unique in a way and stuff like that, but it's, you know, but ultimately it seems like it won't be too strong, and I feel like a lot of people are not going to be interested in it. And I think that the pick rate will still stay low. I think that the popularity will still stay low, and I think the rankings in terms of tier lists are still going to be low because of that fact, because you have a lot of having to catch up to them and they're gonna hold forward like crazy. We already know that. So having to hold forward and hold forward and hold forward, you know, it's insane. Because if the stealth drone was able to launch something like launch an EMP as well, then you can maybe try to push them into them, and then try to like turn it on and see if you could launch your EMP at them. But it's only from the one on that's next to you, so you have to literally go over there with your own feet and go over there by yourself. So that takes away a lot of its utility. So I'm like, yeah, no, like. It'll be like Singularity, which already is very mid, like, except worse, which is not good. Anything worse than mid is just come on now. It's just bad. So you're like, oh, well, damn, like, you know, shambles for the Skull Merchant players, I guess, because I don't know, you know, if you're a Skull Merchant main, sound off in the comments and let me know what you guys think of the changes. Because I don't think it'll be that interesting, especially as somebody who plays M1s all the time. Like, I wouldn't want to pick up this character. Like, it would just be the same old, where it's like you have to constantly be holding forward to try to catch up to people, and you're not really able to make it any easier for yourself.
So like someone's here and you're like over here, right? And then you've put a stealth drone and it's hit them. They go like this, and now you have to walk all the way and hope they don't get the trap off, correct? That's what I'm getting from it. But yeah, I guess we'll see. That is a reaction to the Skull Merchant changes. The changes on the changes of the change.
Also, apologies if I was blocking Tru in any of his from viewing any of his points, but basically the idea is, just to summarize for you guys, you have your self drone and it'll basically just kind of be there, can scan somewhat, and then after that it's sort of just a wrap, you know, because then you'll have to hit them with the dart from your own drone next to you after also applying the trap from the stealth drone, but the stealth drone after that doesn't do anything. So then it's just up to you to go up to them, and then it's like, okay, so either I M1, which is most likely what it's going to have to be, or I'm going to have to shoot the dart, but the dart's probably going to shoot all slow, so, you know, it'll most likely miss anyway, so, like, you're like, whatever, they can just dodge to the side. So, I don't know, it just seems, you know, seems pretty bad. But let me know what you guys think of these Skull Merchant changes in the comment section. Check out the original video linked in the description for Tru3Ta1ent talking about these Skull Merchant changes. I will, to answer his title's question, she gonna be a beast or bad? She's gonna be terrible. God awful. Yeah, no, I don't think it'll be that great. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, comment, subscribe to all the YouTube things. Support the channel with the links in the description. Follow on Twitch if you want to see me play Killer live. And we have join the Discord if you want to join the community. Talk about the changes on the server as well. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next one.